Long, long ago, there lived a young farmer named Chiku in a small village surrounded by the tall trees of the great forest. Even though he was just a young boy, Chiku worked very hard every day on his family's farm to grow yams, maize, and other crops for eating. One morning just after sunrise, Chiku was out in the field starting his day's work. As he bent down digging in the soil, he heard a rustling sound coming from the tall grass nearby. Chiku turned around but didn't see anything or anybody there. He continued working for a little while until he heard the rustling sound again, even closer this time. Chiku stood up and looked around trying to see what was making that noise. That's when he spotted a little furry face peeking out from behind the grass. It was a mischievous little monkey who lived in the forests. As soon as their eyes met, the monkey started making funny faces and jumping around while letting out loud screeches and howls. "Hey! You pesky monkey, stop being such a nuisance and leave me alone to do my work," Chiku scolded out loud. But the monkey just laughed and then quickly ran off deeper into the bush, still howling loudly. Chiku shook his head thinking the silly monkey was gone, so he went back to work digging in the soil. A few minutes later, Chiku felt something land on his head. It was the mischievous monkey again. The crafty little animal had climbed up into the tall trees while Chiku wasn't looking. Now it was jumping from branch to branch in the trees above, shaking the limbs and dropping leaves and small twigs down onto Chiku's head. "Arg, you annoying creature. Get out of those trees right now and go away," Chiku shouted while shaking his fist. But the monkey just continued jumping around making loud monkey noises at him. Fed up, Chiku decided he needed to chase the monkey away for good so he could get his farm work done in peace. He quickly grabbed a long stick and started climbing up into the tall tree where the monkey was playing jokes. But whenever Chiku got close to the cheeky monkey, it just smiled and let out a loud screech before leaping easily to the next tree over. Then the monkey would shake that tree's branches, showering Chiku with more leaves and small twigs raining down on him. No matter which tree Chiku climbed up, the silly monkey was always one step ahead of him, jumping away at the last second. The young farmer quickly became tired from constantly having to climb up and down the tall trees one after another. After a while, Chiku gave up, feeling frustrated. As he stood on the ground looking up at the monkey sitting on a high branch, the monkey started laughing and making funny noises as if it had outsmarted the poor farmer boy. Just then, Chiku's eyes spotted an old basket weave trap that the village hunters used to catch small animals like rabbits. He quickly ran and grabbed the trap, baiting it with some fresh maize picked from the fields. Chiku then set the trap down right under the tree branches where the mischievous monkey was still playing jokes and having a good laugh at his expense. He hid behind some bushes and waited, hoping his little plan would work. Sure enough, the curious monkey opened the trap to take the maize bait, and before it knew what happened, snap! The basket weave trap locked shut, trapping the monkey inside. Chiku cheered for joy as he emerged from the bushes to collect the trapped monkey. He had finally caught the pesky little prankster that had been bothering him all morning. "You don't seem so mischievous now, do you?" he scolded the pitiful-looking monkey even though it couldn't understand human words. Chiku decided he would take the trapped monkey back to his village and put it in a sturdy cage as a new pet. At least now he could get his farm work done without being pestered all day. From that day onward, Chiku kept a watchful eye out for that same mischievous monkey or any of its friends returning to the fields to make more trouble. He understood that as a farmer, he would always have to work hard even when dealing with pesky nuisances that got in the way. And so, whenever he saw any playful little monkeys getting too close, Chiku was ready with his trusty basket-weave trap to catch and tame any more mischievous ones from the great forest around his village. Weeks passed since Chiku had outsmarted the mischievous monkey and trapped it in the basket-weave trap. Life on the farm had returned to a peaceful rhythm, with Chiku diligently tending to his crops and occasionally casting a wary eye towards the trees, half expecting another prank from a different monkey. One sunny afternoon, as Chiku was harvesting ripe yams under the warm African sun, he heard a different sound echoing through the forest, a soft, melodious humming. Curious, he paused and looked around. To his surprise, sitting on a low branch of a nearby baobab tree was a young girl, no older than him, with a radiant smile and eyes that sparkled like the morning dew. "Hello there," the girl called out cheerfully, her voice carrying a musical lilt. Chiku blinked in astonishment. It wasn't every day that he encountered someone in the depths of the forest, especially not someone as lively and enchanting as this girl. "Hello," Chiku replied cautiously, wondering who she was and what had brought her to his village. The girl swung her legs playfully from the branch. "I'm Malika," she introduced herself, her dark curls dancing in the gentle breeze. "I've heard about the clever farmer who outsmarted a mischievous monkey." "Is that you?" Chiku chuckled, a bit embarrassed yet pleased that his story had traveled beyond the borders of his village. "Yes, that's me." "I'm Chiku," he confirmed, wiping his hands on his trousers before offering one in greeting. Malika gracefully descended from the tree and shook his hand warmly. "It's a pleasure to meet you, Chiku. I've come from a village not far from here. Your tale of wit and perseverance has inspired many, including me." Chiku felt a warmth spread through him at her words. He hadn't expected his encounter with the monkey to garner such attention, let alone admiration from a stranger like Malika. "Would you like to join me for some fresh yams?" Chiku offered, gesturing towards the basket beside him. "I was just about to head back to the village." Malika smiled brightly. "I'd love to," she replied, her eyes sparkling with curiosity. As they walked back to Chiku's village, he couldn't help but feel a sense of ease and excitement in Malika's company. She shared stories of her own village, tales of bravery and kindness that reminded Chiku of the values he held dear. Over the following days, Chiku found himself looking forward to Malika's visits. They would explore the forest together, discovering hidden clearings and secret streams. Malika's laughter became a familiar melody in Chiku's days, brightening even the hardest hours of farm work. One evening, as they sat beneath a sprawling acacia tree, watching the sun set in a blaze of orange and red, Malika turned to Chiku with a serious expression. "Chiku," she began softly, her eyes searching his. "I've heard whispers from the elders in my village. They speak of a great drought that threatens our lands. Many farmers are struggling, and our crops are withering." Chiku frowned, concern etching lines on his brow. He knew how devastating a drought could be, having heard stories from neighboring villages that had faced similar hardships in the past. "We must find a way to help," Malika continued, her voice determined. "I believe in your ingenuity, Chiku. Together, we can come up with a plan to ensure that our villages thrive despite the challenges. Chiku nodded slowly, heartened by Malika's faith in him. Let's talk to the elders, he suggested, already thinking of ways to share water and resources between their villages. As they stood up to leave, a rustling sound caught their attention. Peering through the foliage, they saw a group of monkeys swinging gracefully from tree to tree, their playful antics a stark contrast to the seriousness of their conversation. Malika laughed softly, her eyes dancing with mischief. Those monkeys remind me of your story, Chiku. Perhaps they have wisdom to share too. Chiku chuckled, feeling a weight lift from his shoulders. With Malika by his side, he knew they could face whatever challenges lay ahead. Together, they would ensure that their villages not only survived but thrived, their bond growing stronger with each passing day. And so, as the sun dipped below the horizon, painting the sky in shades of purple and gold, Chiku and Malika walked back to their villages, their hearts full of hope and determination. The tale of Chiku and Malika became legendary in their region, a story of friendship, resilience, and the enduring spirit of community. As they worked side by side to overcome obstacles, their villages flourished, guided by the lessons learned from a mischievous monkey and the unexpected bond it had forged.